Whiskers the cat and Squeaky the mouse live in the same house but have never been friends. Can a small act of kindness bring them together? Discover their story in Whiskers and Squeaky, an unlikely friendship.
Once upon a time, in a cozy little house, lived a cat named Whiskers and a mouse named Squeaky. Whiskers loved to nap in sunny spots, while Squeaky had fun exploring tiny corners. Though they lived in the same house, they had never spoken to each other. Whiskers thought mice were always causing trouble, and Squeaky was scared of Whiskers' sharp claws. One sunny morning, Whiskers was dozing by the window when he saw Squeaky struggling to carry a tiny piece of cheese. Whiskers watched curiously as Squeaky stumbled and the cheese fell. Feeling a bit sorry for the little mouse, Whiskers stretched out his paw and nudged the cheese closer to Squeaky. Squeaky looked up in surprise and squeaked, "Thank you." Whiskers smiled and said, "You're welcome." That was the first time they spoke, and both of them started to wonder if they could be friends. After their first talk, Whiskers and Squeaky began to see each other differently. Whiskers was curious about what life was like for a tiny mouse, and Squeaky wondered how it felt to be a big cat. One afternoon, while Whiskers was basking in the sun, Squeaky gathered his courage and approached him. "Can I sit with you?" Squeaky asked shyly. Whiskers nodded and moved his fluffy tail to make space. They sat together, feeling the warm sunshine. Squeaky told stories of his adventures in the house, like finding hidden crumbs and sneaking through nooks and crannies. Whiskers shared tales of his dreams, chasing butterflies and birds that flew by the window. They laughed and realized they enjoyed spending time together. Slowly but surely, a bond of friendship started to grow between the unlikely pair, and they both felt a little less lonely. One stormy night, the house was filled with loud thunder and flashes of lightning. Whiskers and Squeaky were both scared, but they were in different parts of the house. Squeaky was hiding in a small hole in the wall, while Whiskers was curled up under the couch, his tail wrapped tightly around him. Suddenly, a loud crash came from the kitchen, and both Whiskers and Squeaky rushed to see what had happened. They found a window had blown open, and rain was pouring in. Squeaky was too small to close the window, and Whiskers couldn't reach it by himself. They looked at each other and knew they had to work together. "Let's do this," said Whiskers, lifting Squeaky with his paws. Squeaky grabbed the window latch, and with a big push, they managed to close the window. They were wet but safe, and they realized they made a great team. After the stormy night, Whiskers and Squeaky's friendship became even stronger. They spent their days playing together, exploring the house, and sharing snacks. One day, while they were playing hide-and-seek, they heard a noise from the garden. A big, scary dog had jumped over the fence and was now in the garden. Whiskers and Squeaky were very scared. They knew they had to act quickly. Whiskers said, "Let's hide in the attic. It's safe up there." Squeaky nodded, and they dashed up to the attic. The dog sniffed around but couldn't find them. While hiding, they whispered about a plan to get the dog out. "Maybe we can make loud noises to scare it away," suggested Squeaky. Whiskers replied, "Good idea. Let's try that." They banged on some old pots and pans, and the noisy clatter scared the dog away. They were proud of their teamwork again. After their adventure with the dog, Whiskers and Squeaky felt closer than ever. They realized that no matter how different they were, they could always count on each other. One sunny day, they decided to celebrate their friendship with a little picnic in the living room. Whiskers brought some milk and fish, while Squeaky brought tiny pieces of cheese and breadcrumbs. As they munched on their snacks, they chatted and laughed about their past adventures. Whiskers said, "I'm so glad we became friends, Squeaky." Squeaky smiled and replied, "Me too, Whiskers. You're my best friend." From that day on, they continued to support and help each other, knowing that true friendship can come from the most unexpected places. They lived happily ever after in their cozy little house, where a cat and a mouse proved that friendship knows no bounds.
We hope you enjoyed this story. If you liked this video, please go ahead and push the like button. If you like the content and want to see more, please subscribe to our channel. Goodbye.